Now, Miss Quinzel, as you know, I have been assigned to be your psychiatrist. Now, I know former psychiatrists sometimes have difficulty working with psychiatrists, but I want you to know that you can trust me and that you will be able to rely on me to help you get better. Now, Miss Quinzel, how long have you been a patient at Arkham Asylum? Now, please, responses like that are not helpful and is anatomically impossible. I want you to assure you that I've heard everything that you can put forward, but that I am here to help you. Perhaps we could talk about something else. Let's talk about your childhood. Miss Quinzel, what is it that you really wanted to do when you were a child? You really wanted to make a difference, didn't you? My files show that you really wanted to make a difference in your community, with your family, with your father. Would you say that you had a close relationship with your father? And let me be blunt. When one of the crime lords of Gotham killed your father, how did that affect you? Did that inspire you to pursue a career in psychology, a career that would eventually lead you to be a psychologist right here at Arkham Asylum? We're going to get to the truth sooner or later, Miss Quinzel. Very well, Harley. But I want to eventually get to a point where we are using your proper name. However, it is important for me to meet my patients halfway. So, let's talk about Harley. Do you consider Harley to be a different personality altogether from Dr. Quinzel? Or do you consider it to be an alteration of your core personality? Now, as you know, the modern psychology does not put much stock in multiple personalities, more of a dissociative order, and even then, we don't truly believe they are separate identities. That these expressions are simply ways of our minds and our bodies coping with extreme stress. Now, speaking of extreme stress and extreme responses, let's talk about the Joker. Fine. Let's talk about Puddin'. Tell me about when you first met him. And when he was strapped down, when he was caged and confined, much as you are now. No, I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't let you go. The last psychologist that was convinced to do that is, I believe, missing one of their ears. And I don't really want to follow suit. I'm rather fond of all of my extremities. But he was strapped down. He was confined. He was contained. So, do you think that influenced his influence over you? So, when he first began to make inroads to you, what was it he wanted you to do? Come now, Miss Quinzel. I'm sorry, Harley. Come now. There was something that he wanted from you. He didn't just want your companionship. It is well documented that your relationships were complicated? Can I be honest? It is, in fact, on video recordings of him being both verbally and physically abusive to you. And that is behavior that I find absolutely reprehensible. And I think that you deserve better than that. So, tell me, what is it that excites you about being with Puddin? All right. Well, let me put it another way. When you and he are, say, robbing a bank, what are you feeling? What is the emotion that is going through your body? Joy? Is it ecstasy? Is it the thrill of doing something that is prohibited? Or is it romantic? Do you feel affection towards him when you are doing and actually committing a crime? These behaviors are all very complicated. They're all highly wrapped up together. But I think with time, we can extricate them from your relationship to Puddin and bring you towards healthier relationships. No, I don't mean the gentleman in the cape. I don't think that he's interested in relationships at this time. No, I am not currently treating Catwoman, and if I was, I would keep such things confidential. No, I do not know where Miss Pamela Isley is. She is currently at large, and again, even if I was treating her, her information would be confidential. Now, tell me about a time when you were not with the Joker. I'm sorry, Puddin. Tell me about a time that you were not with him and you were happy. All right, perfect. The two pets that you have, your babies, they gave you pleasure. They gave you pleasure while you were feeding an informant to them. Can you think of a time where you were made happy, where you were joyful, and no one was being shot, killed, dismembered, tortured, where you were simply experiencing life and there was no detriment to anyone else? All right, perfectly. You were with Miss Isley during a time when you took a break from him and you were very happy together, all right? No, of course. This is all strictly confidential. None of this passes the walls of Arkham. No, I will not unlatch your shackles. Again, I am very attached to my limbs, and I'm going to keep it that way. Now, when you were with Miss Isley, did she hit you? Did she yell at you? Okay, did she yell at you a lot? No. So what we've established is that you are entirely capable of having a human connection with another human being. Despite that, I still consider Miss Isley to be a human and not a plant, with another human being without abuse. And do you know what that means? That means that you deserve that level of happiness. You deserve someone who will take care of you, someone who will respect you, and someone who will not harm you. I want you to try for our homework, shall we say. I want you to try and think about other times that you were happy without being near him. Think about times that you were happy in the courtyard. When were you happy in the courtyard of Arkham Asylum? I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand. What do you mean by 1 minute from now? Miss Quinn, I don't know where you got that bobby pin, but Miss Quinn, please. I'm going to lose a limb, aren't I?